Good afternoon, peoples, fellow humans, fellow explorers and survivors on this train of whatever this is. It is I, your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the man with a plan who says stuff without knowing what he's saying, the toxic gatekeeper. Let's talk about the summer, because it's just like around the corner. It's May, right? I think so. Might be May. I don't know. So what happens to our community in the summer? Game cons and comic book cons and fandom cons tend to roll out in huge chunks during the summer months. Why during the summer? Because generally the weather is warmer in most places. Generally people have more free time, and generally there's not a lot going on in the various industries in the summer. Summer is more sports based. There's baseball and football and stuff like that. But fandom base, things tend to slow down during the summer. There's not a lot of shooting for movies and television shows during the summer. Most of them are on break. Not a lot of stuff is getting produced during the summer. Usually most companies use the summer or somewhere around then as sort of to, okay, we've done chunk, chunk, chunk. Here's our little break before we do chunk, chunk to go into the new year. We do So summer tends to be a good time to have conventions. You can get easy access to a lot of people who have free time, a lot of people in the industry who aren't doing a lot of anything and can take a day or two off to just hang out with fans at a convention center. So generally, fandom conventions happen in the summer. It's not to say there's not fandom conventions throughout the entire year, because there are, but the major ones tend to happen during the summer. And of course, the two biggies, San Diego Comic Book Con for pretty much all media, and Gen Con for pretty much gaming media. There are a couple other big ones, but these are the two sort of cornerstones of geekdom during the summer. And normally they are held at a very large location. San Diego Convention Center usually hosts San Diego Comic Con, and Gen Con is usually hosted at a hotel or a convention center, wherever they're holding it this year. But this year is different because we have the thing and the shutdown, and people are afraid to be around each other. So you can't justify, 10,000 people crammed together like sardines in a convention center, hustling and bustling to get from table to table to talk to their favorite writer and pick up some free swag when we're all afraid of the COVID. It's all part of my plan. You will rule the day, San Diego. So many of the conventions are switching to this, the online format. So we're having video conventions instead of face-to-face conventions. And San Diego Comic Con has announced for the very first time ever they are going all digital because of the fear of COVID. Gen Con has not said anything about this year, but the general belief is they're going to go digital in some form. Many other cons that were going to be face-to-face have already gone to the digital format. The big news, of course, being that San Diego Comic Book Con is going to be digital this year. How does that fucking work? I mean, have you ever been to San Diego Comic Book Con? It's outrageous. It has grown so much from what it started as just a little teeny group of people getting together to talk comic books and trade comic books and talk to comic book artists, to this multi-medium, multi-dimensional, multi-outrageous thing. I mean, once Hollywood invaded San Diego Comic Con and became the place for them to start, showing, okay, here's our blockbusters that are coming out next year. Wow. And then you got TV that took over, and anime, and cosplay, and Magic the Gathering, and of course, all the free swag. Let's just start at the top. The main reason you go is to get the free swag. Well, how am I going to get free swag if I'm online? I can't get free swag. I can't. Oh, I want to talk to this guy. Oh, now I want to talk to this guy. Oh, I want to go over to this booth. No, there's not going to be booths. There's not going to be retailers. It's all going to be online. And sure, that's great for a bunch of people logging on at the exact same time to watch, the Marvel people talk about Phase whenever we're on, and, WandaVision and Falcon versus Snowman and Loki and whatever else is coming out Christmas time from them. That won't change. A bunch of people being able to log on and talk to, Kempo Cornelius, comic book artist, or Kevin Smith, director, or TJ Storm, martial artist, Hall of Famer, and mocap genius, or, that guy who directed that obscure film. That probably won't change because that's still, you can still organize that digitally, but so much of conventions is first and foremost impulse buying. All the merchandise, let's just forget the free swag, which, that's my favorite part, but whatever. The merchandise, the dealer's room is huge. We're talking like football stadium huge, battleship huge, 17 schools hooked together huge, with merchandisers of anything you can think of. And it's even vaguely like 17 steps removed, vaguely associated with any aspect of fandom or any subgenre of fandom or any subgenre. There is a booth selling something, even if it's one guy with a table with stuff he made all year long at home, knitting together little patches for, Star Hunter or some other obscure show. That's there. And that is the major source of the income, because the convention gets a percentage of whatever they make because they have to pay for that table. So the longer that table's there, they're paying a lot of money to be there. And that's what keeps the convention center going. Plus tickets. Because once you're in, all you have to spend money on is the dealer's booth and maybe food. But, that's what? Some cold hot dogs and warm beer? No, the major source of income for the convention is the retailers, and the ticket price, and hoping that retailers will continue, people will continue to impulse buy during the 3-4 days, or pay money to go out of building number A to go into building number B, because building number B is hosting the Kevin Smith whatever, and building number C is all the people from the CW or whatever. But it's huge. So now that we know the San Diego Comic Book Convention is going to be this, how does that work? I mean, like I said, sure, the topic conversations, the cast of Marvel all getting on and talking to you about WandaVision, that still can probably happen, but you can't have like comic book artist guy look at your portfolio, which has always been a huge section of the convention, is the artist booth. You can't do Magic the Gathering tournaments or whatever, which was always, role playing and gaming was always a part of it. You can't have displays of the Batmobile or amazing walkthroughs to advertise for some computer game that's coming out or whatever, because all that tangible, tactical, hands-on stuff, I can show you pictures, but unless you're going to scan the comic book art and send it to me, I can't be comic book guy looking at your portfolio and giving you advice. I can't be comic book guy who makes $10 a pop doing art for people as they walk by. I can't be comic book guy who gets $5, $10, $15 a pop for signing things or taking pictures with you and having you sign them. That's all gone. How is this gonna work, and what does this mean for the future of that aspect of the injury? Because, that's a lot of money San Diego's not going to make this year. And San Diego, and the San Diego Convention Center, and San Diego in general, relies on San Diego Comic Book Convention and the genre people and all the hundreds of people that come in every year for a huge chunk of money. Hotels, food, the convention center everything. I mean, it just supports a large chunk of San Diego for a large chunk. That's not going to happen this year. So what does this mean? And what happens next year? Because now we've got a taste of, well, I don't have to go to San Diego. I can just stay here and watch Kevin Smith talk about it. I can just stay here and watch the people for the DCU trying to explain what's going on with their movies. I can just sit here and listen to the people talk about the 37th season of Supernatural. I don't have to get out of my house and go all the way to San Diego and pay $200 a night for a hotel room the size of a shoebox, plus fork out $50 a meal for every meal, and then pay $300 to go inside the building, and then impulse buy. I gotta get issue number 1 of Sandwich King, and hey, here, I want this shirt. That's another. Yeah, I don't have to do any of that. I can just see her here. Interesting. It's very interesting. It's very life-changing news for the fandom, genre, Hollywood, that aspect of the world and all the things that are connected to that aspect of the world and every little step of every little thing that is related to having San Diego Comic-Con is just totally gone. I don't know what's gonna happen. Dogs and cats sleeping together, and we just had our comic books on rocks. Our guest speakers were rocks, and all we talked about was rocks, and we were happy. But today, it's huge. It really is huge. And we could theory craft what's going to happen. I mean, it's not like San Diego's going to say, nope, we're never doing it again, because it's just too much money for them. So they are going to fight and claw and squeeze any way they can to get it to start over again a year from now, or 2 years from now, or from whenever this COVID-19 nonsense comes to an end. But meanwhile, what is it going to mean for this year? Because that's just money for so many people, and so many aspects of the industry rely on San Diego Comic-Con to spearhead whatever they're doing come the tail end of 2020 and going to 2021. All the winter movies, all the winter TV shows, all the winter video games, all the winter comic books and books, and everything related to this vast, amazing hobby of ours is spearheaded at San Diego Comic-Con. And that's not happening this year. So it's just wow. It's just every time I think about, I realize, that's probably not going to happen because it starts at San Diego Comic-Con. And, how does that going to affect X because of San Diego Comic-Con not happening this year? And how is that going to affect Y because of San Diego Comic-Con not happening this year? And worst of all, no free swag. Talk to you later, losers.